Okay, thanks everybody. Wonderful trip today. Give the ladies an extra bucket of oats in their feed, okay? They're going to need their strength. Oh boy, that was a long trip, but it's sure a good one. Ah. Oh my. Ah, love that hot cocoa. Oh, hi. Didn't expect you. Let me get these glasses off. My good friend Ben Franklin made those for me. Oh my, I just finished a nice long ride with the ladies, the reindeer, and they're all in fine form and ready to go for the big season coming up here. You know, on the trip, I was reminded of what a wonderful, wonderful work that I get to do in the world. I get to move through the world and touch lives with love, year after year, moment by moment. I can't imagine anything I'd rather do. And in the process, I've gathered so many wonderful stories. Some will make you cry from happy. Some will make you cry in empathy. They're all beautiful stories. I call it Santa's big bag of memories. And I'll tell you what, I just got in and I'm kind of hot and sweaty and dirty, and I'm going to go clean up a little bit, and with your permission, I'd like to come back and offer you a story or two. So, I'll tell you what, I'll be right back, okay? Bye-bye. Ah, I made it back. I'm glad you're still here. I wonder if I'm addicted to cocoa. Well, this is a story from late 2019. I've been retired from the mall Santa scene for several years now for medical reasons, but I'm also an active Santa in my hometown and elsewhere, just not during the holiday season because I look like Santa and have the heart of a Santa all year long. I love it. Day after day, all year long, no matter how I dress, no matter where I am, no matter the circumstances, people see me and they make that Santa connection. And they smile, ear to ear. Every one of them. Every time. I have the honor and the privilege of walking through a strife-filled, harsh, and unfriendly world, and I have the opportunity to bring smiles to all those who allow themselves to see Santa in me. There are questions. There's always questions. Can I feel your beard? How long have you been growing that? Do you play Santa? No Santa worth his snowflakes would ever admit to playing Santa. It's a calling. We become Santa. Then it comes up, the question. How many times have you been peed on? With nearly 4 decades of Santaing under my wide black belt, what would be your guess? I've had tens of thousands of children and adults sitting on my lap. Their ages range from 31 hours to 103 years. I've had 14 nubile high school cheerleaders in their skimpy outfits scrambling to sit on my lap at the same time while my soon-to-be wife, Kim, watched and laughed from the wings. I've held tiny and monstrous dogs. I've held cats, hamsters, pigs, snakes, ferrets, and birds. I've sat with an adult couple, each weighing more than 400 pounds, one on each knee at the same time. The little old ladies in care facilities love me. Kim laughingly says they're a bunch of cougars. None of these have ever peed on me. Not the day-old infant, not the 103-year-old grandmother wrapped in her Depends. Nobody, ever. Enter Pico. A year ago, after having worn the same run-of-the-mill Santa outfit for 2 decades, I reached deep into my wallet and bought a really nice, fully professional Santa suit with lots of sparkling white fake fur contrasting with the deep burgundy velour. I love this suit for its quality, its construction, and its look. It is so comfortable to wear. The satin lining stays cool in Santa's skin, and it makes long stints of Santa duty bearable in an otherwise roasting suit. I was wearing that suit on the fateful day that Pico came into my life. I was Santaing at a local high-end retirement home last week when one of the residents came in out of the winter weather holding in her hand, of all things, an 18-inch long, half-inch diameter, debarked tree branch with a parrot perched on it. As the woman stepped into the foyer, she spotted a couple of friends and promptly struck up a conversation with them. Eventually, her eyes fell on Santa, and her whole face lit up. She excused herself from her ongoing conversation and walked over to Santa, asked if she could have a picture with her parrot and Santa. "No big deal. I work with pets all the time," I told her. She handed me the stick with the parrot on it and left me there, literally holding the stick, while she returned to her friends and continued her conversation. I heard one of her friends refer to the parrot by name, calling it Pico. So, as it appeared that Pico and I would be spending some quality time together, I made eye contact with the parrot and began talking to it. I don't know what Pico knew. I don't know that Pico knew what to think of this bearded stranger in a bright red and white outfit, who was suddenly his caretaker. He paced back and forth on his stick suspiciously, eyeballing me all the while. I remember thinking, I hope he doesn't poop on me. I must be psychic. No sooner had I thought that than Pico paced to the center of the stick, directly over the sparkling white fur at the bottom of my new Santa jacket, about 2/3 of the way between my hips and my knees. I knew. Pico knew that I knew and was savoring his moment of power. We shared a lingering eye contact, and then Pico squatted down on the stick, wiggled his tail feathers, and let fly. Yeah, I try to find good in every event. At least the blob of green and white goo wasn't watery. At least the white was snow white, and the green was bright green like in the Christmas tradition. But I'd been pooped on. A blemish on my new coat, and on my record as a Santa. The ladies were still deep in conversation, not even noticing the panicked look in Santa's eyes, or the new Christmas embellishment that had suddenly appeared on Santa's suit. And Santa, being Santa, didn't say a word. Both hands were busy holding the two ends of the stick. Pico appeared quite satisfied with his deed. There was nothing to do but wait until somebody remembered him and noticed the new addition. Eventually, Pico's owner remembered the photo opportunity. Her friends got out their phones and began discussing camera settings and angles. I sat and waited. Pico's owner walked the short distance to Santa's chair and may have been preparing to sit down to have a photo with Santa and Pico to be taken by her friends. I'll never know. "Pico pooped!" she exclaimed loudly in her moment of discovery. I nodded in silent agreement, then glanced at the miscreant blob of goo on my new white fur. I added, "Yes, he did. Indeed he did." Now, I have to give the ladies credit. Two of them rushed to find water and napkins in order to clean the mess from Santa's coat, while Pico's owner relieved me of the duty of holding the stick and its occupant. I watched with bemusement as two of the women on their knees, focused and working diligently with water, cloths, and all four hands on the hem of my jacket between my knees in order to eradicate the mess on Santa's coat, and I must admit they did a darn good job. My wife Kim was with me that day. We were participating in the facility's Christmas bazaar, and she was upstairs running our jewelry booth. Foot traffic was sporadic and fairly slow, so it would not have been out of the question for her to wander over to the balcony and observe me in my Santa duties. It did occur to me that the scene might have been misconstrued by my wife had she seen it. Luckily, she was spared that vision. However, a couple of elderly gentlemen walking by nearly wrenched their necks when they did double takes at the spectacle of Santa and his two lovely helper elves. So, technically, the Santa's never been peed on, but Pico pooped. Have a great holiday, folks.